All right, folks. We are now excited to welcome our final Ignatian Network speaker to the stage. Give it up for Darius White, an English teacher at St. Ignatius College Preparatory in San Francisco. Welcome, brother.
The move. We've all had some time to sit alone, time to wonder, time to reflect, do that Ignatian examine. Y'all know what I mean? Been thinking, where do we go from here? Where have we been? Where are we going? During the last 18 months, I have lost sight of the world, myself, and my path. What path, you ask? It's a path only once I decide to take that first step. That first step means your boy has curiosity, imagination, faith. First in my mind, then by foot, I make my first step. And that first step doesn't have to be forward. I'm taking many steps back, out of mistake, and others out of necessity, to gain perspective. With my first step, I decided to stand in front of that mirror, that man in the mirror. I was stunned by the fact that I couldn't remember the last time I looked so deeply into someone's eyes, let alone my own. Y'all feel me out there? What did I see? I couldn't make it out at first, for my vision had been blurry for some time due to the hours of staring at a screen, avoiding eye contact with myself. Only when the computer battery died did I see parts of myself in the darkened screen. I guess I was lost in a projected reality, y'all. One in which mass couldn't stop the mass spread of violence. One in which faith was mocked as fiction. And one in which division was the new religion. What has come of these missteps? Mishap, misinformation, mistreatment. I don't know about you, but I felt lost. Our viruses, vices, and vitriol led me to want to feel something new, do something different. So I decided to make a move. My next move came after one late summer night. It was recent. I'm gonna paint the scene for y'all. Late night, maybe 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Car guts hanging out, my heart racing, and my body so still in the back of that police car. I wish I stayed on path that night, for real, y'all. I wish I stayed on path instead of swerving that night. I wish my mama was there to protect me as I sat scared, stiff, locked in the back seat like a caged animal. I hope you know why this caged bird did not sing. And it ain't because of this lovely black skin and this lovely hair. Because I'll tell you, my black is beautiful, our black is beautiful, our identities are beautiful. And to the young men who look just like me, I hope you never, ever, ever have to see life from the back of a police car. At that moment, only they can let you in. At that moment, only they can let you out of the car and out of a life. I wish I never thought of them, y'all. I wish I never thought of them, but my mind was racing. And I hope we never forget them. Philando Castile, Tony McDade, Sandra Bland. My mama looked like Sandra Bland. I got brothers that look like Philando Castile. I got homies, transgender, LGBTQ, like Tony McDade. I could have easily been one of them if this black body made any sudden moves. And it didn't matter how many degrees I had, how many times I got into college, how proper and white my voice seemed. It just didn't matter at that moment. I was just another black person in the back of that car. I could have lost my life twice that night, by accident and by cop. And I'm not taking shots at individual cops. I'm just letting you know I'm not gonna lay down for no institution. I also know there's no such thing as an honorable discharge when matters are in the hands of these systems. You know, the intersectional isms and phobias. Of course, our identities are intersectional, but we can't forget about the isms. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Okay, y'all there with me? That night, back home, I sat in silence, wondering if heaven was waiting on me. Silent night, holy night. I hope you know the song. After a few days of reflection, I thought about whether or not I was moving towards heaven. While I've never been there, I saw heaven when I looked into the eyes of my friends' newborn babies. Like babies, we have all been wide-eyed, watching, wondering what will happen next in our world. While I've never been there, I heard heaven in the form of teenage laughter once we were able to return to the classroom. And while I've never been there, I felt heaven once I felt the spirit of my late cotton-picking grandmother next to my bed, using her silence to rest my worries and awaken my faith. And at some point through it all, I would say we've all felt alone in that silence, so piercing, so present. Again, I decided to move within that silence. I had begun my internal pilgrimage. In that silence, my hopes and dreams became the soundtrack of my journey to rediscovery. And when I let myself ask what if and why not, I could hear my intuition calling, ringing, singing to me and my imagination. If you don't believe me, sit and listen to your mind, body, and spirit, and tell me you don't hear anything. Tell me you don't feel nothing. Tell me you don't see anything in your mind's eye. Even if for a split second, y'all, a split second, you are reconciling and reckoning with whom you have been and whom you are becoming. We are human beings. We are always moving between being and becoming. During the last year or two, you know, some of us found God, some of us found family, some of us found nothing but ourselves. The process of finding means we were moving and probably connecting to something, a universe, a person, a vision, all of which require various pieces, people, and procedures to make a whole. You know, a kinship, if you will. Sure, I'm just a black kid from Texas, right? I'm just a black kid from the country. One cow, one store, one school. I take that back. I take a step back. I am more than just a black kid from Texas. He is more than just his parents' wealth. She is more than just her body, and they are more than an imaginary gender binary. I see you. No, your boy really sees you. I see you in the yellow. I see you in the red. I see you with the blonde hair. I'm here for you. You know, so let's make a move together. I want to move closer to you so I can get to know you better, so I can love you better. And let me be the first again to say and thank you, or second to say, Brian Massengale, I love you. I love you all. And I'm not saying our paths will be easy to find or easy to navigate. I actually have no idea where these paths will lead us. Hell, for heaven's sake, I just hope we see and recognize one another in motion. Maybe even make our pilgrimage together, hand in hand, arm in arm. Maybe even make these moments into momentum and momentum into movements. I don't mind leading or following, as long as I am moving with you and we are moving together. And that's the move.